going on, people? Music fans. Man, I wish you were closer in the vicinity. Augie, what's going on, man? I hope you had a good dinner, bro. We're back at 11. Hopefully, we can get to this 400 tonight. It's been a long road. It's been a journey, man. I put in a lot of work, which I will continue to do. I will continue to do exactly that. I actually made a video, man, but I couldn't upload it because messing around with the damn dog, man. I couldn't upload the video, man. It showed too much on the video. So I'm gonna have to redo the video, which is fine because I'm gonna redo the video as soon as I'm done with this. I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna redo it, but it'll be a 20-minute video, maybe longer. But it's really, really cold outside tonight, so I don't know about anything longer than 20 minutes unless I get in my truck and warm it up. But I'm going to redo the video that I had to erase, and I'm going to put that on the channel that, my video has been doing decent views, man. So I'm gonna put that on the channel tonight or in the morning, either or. And we're gonna go. Hey, hard to please. What is going on, man? I see you in the chat, man. I don't know, man. But I couldn't upload the video, so there you have it. I had the video ready. Everything was good, and as I did the playback on it before I was gonna, I always got to do a playback on my videos, man. So I did the playback, and I seen the mailbox, so I was like, yeah, can't upload this one. And that's exactly why when I'm close to the house, I always do a playback, man. All right, hard please. You have a good night as well, sir. Um, I was hoping that I was gonna be able to get the 400 subscribers tonight, but it didn't happen. As a matter of fact, somebody unsubscribed, so it's fine. I always knew from the beginning that it was gonna be hard work, and that you got to take baby steps. Evan, Porky, Music, what's going on? Ashton, of course. Here goes Evan again, jealous of my mansion. Rod, how you guys doing, man? Please like and subscribe, man, if you could, man. We got a goal of, I don't know, maybe 410. It's kind of hard. I want to say on the road to 450, but I haven't reached 4 yet, so I'm not gonna make too big of a goal that is unreachable tonight. But I think 410 is reachable tonight. It's not asking for too much, and I think it's reachable, man. I also said that after the new year, I was gonna be disabling the chat because yo, Mad Max. That's what I said, but we'll see. We'll see how things go, man. We just had a video here around 8, and it was pretty much a success. Everybody was chilling, enjoying themselves. So when that happens, then I come right back at 11. For some reason, I like doing these lives at 11 o'clock, man. I really, really enjoy coming on at 11, man. It's but I do feel like I want to get more into the main meat and potatoes of what my content is about. But I watch the videos, and I feel like a lot of people that are in the live, they're not really the people that are a part of what I do, man. And that's like, I don't know. I guess it's okay, but it kind of goes against what I'm trying to do, man. What are the questions you avoid? What are the deep recesses of your shortcoming that you refuse to shine light on? Does the darkness you occupy out of ignorance keep you warm? And that is a message from Snowman, people. No, hey, my thing is this, man. If you watch my videos, then you'll understand, right? And if you understand, and that's not a problem for you, then great news, you know. Um, but I continue to tell people that when it comes to content creators, they kind of like tend to have a certain genre of what they do. So that genre for me is about the persecution and the harassment of me and my people. So, I want to continue down that path, but I want for people that tap into my content to understand that about me, that this live is just so people can get to know me and who I am as a person as much as I can reveal on a public scale, on a public platform. But for the people that just tap into the live, but they don't go look at the content, that is the issue for me. Because, they'll go and look at the content and realize, oh, well, I like him when he goes live, but I'm not really, into the content. So that could cause them to gravitate away from what I'm doing over here, but it kind of sucks because I put a lot of hard work into what I'm trying to do, man. Like I've got I've got man 200 hours into this stuff, and well, I mean, you could King 300 blackout. That's the goal, is to reach around at least 410 tonight, man. I'm not gonna be doing any rap. I do put out a few bars from time to time, but like I'm not in the mental space to be rapping. I don't feel like rapping. I don't feel like rhyming or any of that. I just feel like talking, man. That's what I do. But at some point, you'll catch me as you attend these videos. You will see that from time to time I do. But at the same time, man, I have you know a goal that I'm trying to reach, and people need to understand that. There's a lot of individuals that try to hinder those goals, bro, and it's not even that they try, because ultimately nobody can hinder my goals but me, right? But like there's distractions, and there's you know a lot of stuff that goes on, man. And there's a specific topic that I like to talk about for the main reason that you know when I felt like I didn't have a voice, when I felt like I couldn't talk to certain people, then it was like, hey man, I'm gonna make my voice travel farther, which so far that's been a success. It really has. But at the same time, it's like, you have to stick to a certain script so people know what you're about when the cameras are off, and everybody's in their own solitude, and they're just trying to get into a certain vibe. You got to know that my vibe is the vibe you're trying to get into, right? And that, you know, it's about educating yourself on many different levels, but also being aware and searching for all wisdom, knowledge, and understanding on many levels. Because I talk about a lot of different stuff, man. But the main stuff is very important, and it's also not only important, it's there for you to see, and it's no very undeniable, man. Like, you know, um, the reason that I'm in the position that I'm in today, things that a person been through, and as well as the things that a person goes through, man. It's really quite boring when I look at some of the people in the comments and what they're choosing to be on. It's like they wouldn't get it, and that's exactly why. The comments, or not the comments, but the lives are different than the videos and the shorts. I like to have fun with my videos. I like to chop it up with people and everything. But like, for the people who claim they're going to be a hardcore supporter and a hardcore, I don't like calling people a fan, but I know I have fans. I definitely have fans. Jesus Christ, I have fans. But for the most part, my supporters, man, need to understand what they're supporting. And in order to understand what you supporting is, you can't just attend the live and just not pay no attention to the content, right? Because my message has been put out there, right? My message speaks loud and my message speaks clear. And I don't want for people to, get too wrapped up in, you know, just going to the lives, but not really understanding like who the person is on the other side of the camera, man. That to me is important, because then that's how, I continue to lose subscribers, man. Like, I would have been over my goal, man. Since I started this, I didn't lost like 25 subscribers, man, just on the strength of people jump in, they hit the subscribe button, and then they might gravitate over to the content. They watch a couple of my videos, and then they realize that they're not into what I'm speaking. So, that's one thing I found about my channel that, I have to like clean up. But I also understand that when I put out these lives, man, for some reason, it's just a bunch of unhinged goofies that end up coming in here trying to crash the lives and create a bunch of controversy and distractions and all that kind of shit. So, like, to mitigate that, I've been trying to like speak a little bit more of my message and my viewpoints about what I'm here to do, so people will understand. But like, sometimes I feel like, to stay focused and not get sidetracked, I turn off the comments, man. Like, just turn them off. And that way, like, you can't speak to me. All you can do is listen, you know. And I don't want to do that. Not at all. What I want to do is interact with my people, man. Because, like I said, I know that there's people that are on here that, really, really understand and dig a person. But, like, there's so many games that are being played, man, that like sometimes it gets hard, and the message gets lost in translation, and it's just like, it doesn't even it doesn't matter if I come with my message anymore, because all people want to do is be goofy, and they want me to be goofy with them. And so, right, um my message is the fact that, like I said, there is a lot of people out here in this world that are persecuted, harassed, and afflicted, and isolated, and basically, you know, unalived, and everything else, and stripped of everything, right? And it's such a real thing that's happening, that like, people should understand that this isn't like a joking matter, man. And it's also the reason that I put lots of videos out on it, you know. But like I said, the live is so you can get to know me. Because it's hard to get to know a person if you watch a video and they're not being their true self. They're just putting out their content, being very serious about it, and you know, they're not talking to nobody. There's no one to distract them. It's just me and my message, right? And so like a lot of us, man, have to go and get persecuted and set up and lied on and backstabbed and betrayed, and you know, then you wonder like, why are all these people getting gang stalked everywhere we go? Why, like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? You know, well, that's what you're gonna come to my channel to see, and you ain't gonna really get the whole gist of it. You're just gonna get my point of view, my experiences, what I see through my eyes, and how I deal with the issues that are in my life, right? But then you start to explore into that genre, and you see that there's a lot of people up under the same type of program, right? You got people that don't never heard of MK Ultra, don't know what it is, and probably would laugh if you try to break it down to them. But then you understand that as you tap into this genre or this type of content, you see that wow, this is a big scene. Like there's a lot of people out there, reporting on this stuff, man. And then you start to learn about it, and then you appreciate what I'm doing even that much more, man. But it's like, you know, it's not nothing to joke about, man. It ain't nothing to be goofy about. It ain't like I don't want to deal with the obsessed people that much. Even though I know that when you go into a live video, that's what you're gonna get. There's a lot of obsessed, weird people out there, respectfully, and the fact that a lot of people more than ever before, on top of that, are like reporting on this stuff, man. And I'm looking, it's gotta be something serious because all these platforms and these guys, they got thousands of subscribers and lots of views. So I'm looking at that and I'm saying this can't be just a small issue, man. There's people that really are tapping into this stuff and they want to know about it, because if not, why are there so many subscribers? Why are there so many views? Why do these dudes put out a lot of videos and all of them are getting watched? You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm just getting in. I'm just building my channel. It's not even 60 days old yet, man. Listen, my channel won't turn 60 days old until January 7th, right? I've already hit 100,000 views. So I'm also understanding that, people are they're watching, but like I've done a lot of lives since, I don't know, a week and a half before Christmas, man. So I feel like I'm having the exposure that I need, but I have to stay on track, bro. I have to stay on track, man, because I'm here to tell you, man, I didn't had people try to break into my house while I was at my house, right? That's how bold and brazen this stuff is. Like people will try to come and like I've had people pull up to my house and cock weapons and yell at the top of their lungs. And as soon as I open the door to go confront them, they take off because they know why they're there. They're trying to cause fear and confusion. And the thing is, there is a lot of people going through this. So many people, in fact, that like this is a whole trending topic on YouTube. I'm talking tens of thousands of people. So just imagine that, man. Tens of thousands of people, all with the same story, all with the same complaints, all with the same type of like this is not a joke, man, and it ain't never been a joke, man. And there's people resting in the cemetery because of this kind of stuff, man. And so like, you know, I made the video tonight. I didn't get a chance to upload it because, like I said, I got to redo it. But it's cool because I listened to it. I still have it saved. So I'm going to listen to it again later. And I'm going to take my notes and I'm going to redo the video. Maybe I might go to a half an hour, whatever. But like, um, you know, like I said, after January comes, then that's what I'm going to be back doing for the most part, is that you're only going to be able to tap in with me through the videos, and then there'll be live still, of course, you know, but like I haven't been even doing the numbers that I really been wanting to do, you know, because the numbers that I'm seeing and the people that are attending is really just trolls, man. It's just obsessed, weird people that, you know, have sexuality problems. And, you know, I like that's fine, right? You know, but it's like it goes against my message, man, because it's just like, but you know why they're here, right? I'm gonna tell you why they're here. They're here for the same reason. This content brings a lot of distraction. The reason this content brings a lot of distraction is because people want to know what are gang stalkers, man. These people are the gang stalkers. This is how you cyber stalk. This is how you cyber bully. You talk a bunch of stuff, you disrespect people, you try to just distract people and you get people to call you a troll, but these guys ain't trolls, man. These guys are professionals. These guys do this stuff because you're sitting at home, you're minding your business, you're trying to get your message out, you're going live, right? And so because you go live, that gives them the opportunity for you to see them in real time, right? That's like gold for these people. They love that kind of stuff. But if you are blessed enough to have a vehicle and you need to drive somewhere, then you will see them in traffic. If you go to the grocery store, then you will see them in person, right? Like so it's like you have to understand why my content gets a lot of obsessed troll, like on the verge of being satanic. Like you can listen and you can see, or you can read the comments and you'll understand that like a lot of this stuff is fueled by satanic activity, man. Like a lot of these people are just here because they're monitoring spirits. That's what they do. They study you, they monitor you, and then they strike, they attack, they call all their buddies, their fellow gang stalking buddies, and then they come and they like to bomb people and their channels. And that's only just on YouTube. That's not even counting out in the world, right? Where and like I said, you can go to other channels, man. Just go to the search bar and type in gang stalking videos. And then bam, you will see how much material is out there. You will no longer be asleep to it. If in fact you asleep at all, you will understand that like this shit is so serious, man. Like you know, I remember the story about the lady, and she passed away. She didn't even get a chance to tell her story, man. She reported her severe stalking to the police, and she she continued to, you know, go file reports, and you know the police were pretty much, in my opinion, probably complicit in this whole operation because they didn't help her, man. And ultimately the lady ended up getting kidnapped and found unalived, and that was the end of her story, man. You know, but that's was like that was like one of the stories from like the beginning of the rise of this phenomenon, right? To where it was like, you know, a lot of people were just like, now they kind of backed off, right? Because it's like people are putting it out there for the public to see, and it's like, you know, you realize that, you know, America is divided, right? You got these satanic people, and then you got not necessarily the godly people, because this ain't about God and the devil. It is, but it's not. This is more about the fact that in America, right? All of us, I don't care who you are, how goofy you are, how obsessed you are. This ain't about any of that. This is about the fact that we're living in a society that's ran by the CIA and the, you know, national security and the alphabet agencies, that they are so invested on surveilling American citizens to the point where they got hospitals that are spying on like mothers that are having new babies, and they got, you know, practitioners that do readings on people's lives that are supposed to be psychics, but they like they're like evil type of psychics. They're not like the good kind, right? And they basically let certain people know the prophecies over your life, right? And then if the prophecy is something that goes against what their program and what they believe in, then like they put you into this program. You become a targeted person. You're going to go through your whole life getting put in humiliation rituals, bullying in school, teachers neglecting you and siblings picking on you and just all this stuff. And this is the kids what they go through, right? And then as you get older, it's like it increases in intensity. And then you end up a grown man or a grown woman. And now that there's the rise of the camera phones, like people feel like, damn, I don't have a voice. So what do? They've been coming to YouTube. They've been coming to, it's all over Facebook. It's all over Instagram. It's all over YouTube. It's all over everywhere. Right. And it's crazy because it's like these dudes, they're not even hiding, bro. They are right there in our face. They don't care that we know who they are, because ultimately they are trying to sacrifice each and every target in any way they can. But each case is different, though, of course. And they do all kinds of tactics, man. Like this is the satanic cults of the world. They're like so many millions strong that they just, they sabotage everything: your job, your love life, your family life, your kids, your housing, um, your finances, your food, especially your food. You got to watch out when it comes to food, man. People have been poisoned and they didn't bounce back. Some people over poison and you end up passing away from it. You know what I'm saying? And and I keep saying, like all these children that get kidnapped, I heard a video last night of a guy saying that, and I don't even know how he knows, mind you. Like, I have no idea how these guys know the tactic of these demonic people, right? Where they want to kidnap you and take your body somewhere and unalive you and literally cook and eat your organs. Like, this shit is sick, but it's real. This shit is sick, but it's 100% real, man. This is like the world that we live in today is wild, bro. It's not even what we thought it was. Like, we were little kids growing up and we thought that, oh, we've got all these opportunities. We were taught work hard and you'll go far, and um, save your money and start you a business. And no, none of that is true. It just simply is not true. And it's unfortunate that it's not true because, like, I guess we're living in a time where they want total control, and they want total control over you, me, your family, my family. They I don't know why. I don't know what it's about. Like, you know, but that's what it is, bro. It's like, you know, that's the awareness that I want to bring, and it affects my channel because it's like these little evil demons are everywhere, and they flood the chat. You think that you got all these nice subscribers, but you don't. What you got is monitoring spirits. And I know that most of my subscribers are exactly that. They are monitoring spirits. They are only subscribed, therefore they can be the first ones to see the new content, so they can curse it, they can pray over it, they can evil eye it. Like, there's people evil eyeing me right now, and you know, that doesn't stop me though at all, and it'll never stop me. But like, I don't want to get distracted from my message and what I'm meant to do, because just to appease and make other people comfortable, because that's not what we doing, man. We're not going to sit over here and act like it's all fun and games and we're just here to have a party, because man, there's some real situations going on in a lot of people's lives, man. And you know you gotta know, man. And I'm not talking to everybody about this. I'm talking to the ones that are afflicted and still haven't tapped into anything to be able to understand why they're afflicted. What does it mean to be chosen? What does it mean to be a target? How do you know if you a target? That's just all the things that I'm trying to touch on. And, hopefully I'll get an opportunity to collaborate with people that have more knowledge than I do. That way I can exchange my ideas and I can make some really good content for people. So that way in the future, man, like I really got a solid page that people can, reference to understand. Because as we move into the future, there are going to be more individuals that are going to come out publicly and let them know that, man, the Matrix is really, targeting me on the highest level. And like, I don't know why. I don't know where to turn. I don't know who I can talk to. I don't know who I can trust. And, I don't know why these things are happening to me. Right. So, it's just important that you know how these individuals operate, where you can find them at, you know, where you're going to go and what you may encounter while you're there, and like I said, and I'll say it again, it's also the reason why you look at my comment section and you read everything and you'll understand that most of these people are the ops. They're the paid gang stalkers that work for Satan, and they come on here and they bomb the channels. They're disrespectful. They try to knock you off course. They try to upset you. They're rage baiters. They do all of that, man. And honestly, if they could have a chance to do something physically, they would. They damn sure would, man. And I got this message to push, man, and that's exactly what I'm gonna stay focused on, man. And if I lose people behind it, then that's fine, man. It just means that it's gonna take me that much more longer to get to my goals, and that's what I'm gonna have to do, man. Is I'm gonna have to stay what I like to call 10 toes down and stand on my principles and what I believe in and the message that I have to convey. And you know what? If in fact in the future I decide to change the message and make different kind of content, I'll do that. Or I'll create another page and it'll be about different content. It don't have to be, that's the thing about when you do this. You can do it however you want, man. But right now, like I have a specific message for the world, man, and I'm not gonna stop that message until I get it all out on my digital footprint, man. And I'm not going to let none of these little devils stop that from happening. And believe me, man, if you know me personally, then you'll know that these damn satanic devils have tried every tactic in the book of the devil to stop me, including assassination attempts. And I'm blessed and lucky to be here today talking to anybody. Like just the fact that I'm here alive and well is a miracle, man. It's a miracle, man. Because it was one point where the gang stalking was so heavy, like that's why I had to leave towing, right? They were trying to cause an accident, a fatal accident at that, right? And I knew that's what they was doing. I would drive all the way to Ohio, and these people would follow me, man. And like I always got to say, if you know, then you know, man. They got ways to identify each other, right? They hit you with the old Masonic gestures and hand signals. They do all of that. I still don't have a definitive like idea of who these people are. I don't know who they are. I don't care who they are. It ain't about who they are. It's just about what they do to people. And the question, the biggest $1 million question is, why are so many people up under this same program, right? You know, and now it's like almost to the point where a third of YouTube is just strictly about this type of stuff. Real talk. One third of it can be dedicated to the gang stalking MK Ultra program and how the CIA and the local law enforcement and everybody else is involved in this type of stuff, to the point where they are getting people unalived. People are coming up missing. People are losing everything, including their families. You know, people are becoming addicted because they don't know what else to do. They don't know where to turn to. And you know why they don't know where to turn to? Because there is nowhere to turn, man. You got to turn within. People are thinking they supposed to go talk to the cops, or they supposed to call the FBI, or they supposed to talk to their family, and that is not it. You got to go within. You got to ask God for the strength, because at this point in time, in this lifetime, that's the only power greater than yourself that's going to be able to help you have the strength. But unfortunately, this is like a program. It don't go away. This ain't like a cold where you get sick for a little while and then it heals and clears up. Nah, this ain't that, man. This is something you're gonna have to deal with your entire life, man. And you're gonna cry by yourself some nights. And you're gonna be alone, and you're gonna be feeling despair and isolation and everything else. And ain't you know what? I'm gonna tell you something else. If these demonic people know that's how you feeling, that's when they turn up the heat on you, because they want you to feel as low as they can possibly get you. So if you showing signs of going into a low vibration, and they know what's causing it, they are going to do it more. They're going to intensify it, because ultimately they want you to take yourself out. They want you to sacrifice yourself, and they want it for the power. Like, it's all about power, right? They think they got all this power because they do this energy manipulation. And like, quite honestly, that's what a witch and a warlock is, man. They don't have real magic. They don't have real potions. They have stuff that'll mess you up internally, true enough. But we can make stuff like that at home, right? But what their main, like their absolute main recipe to disaster is to manipulate your energy, man. To cause illusions all around you and just make you want to give up because you feel trapped in this illusionary. I don't even know what it is, but it's like that's their main go-to dark art, is to cause illusions all around you and have you trapped inside of your own mind by manipulating energy. And you know what? I'm gonna give you an example of what manipulating energy really is. Manipulating energy can be as simple as somehow getting inside of your place of work and having your entire job treat you like shit, no matter who you go to. They're just all on the same frequency. They're just being petty, like trying to get you caught up in little setups, trying to get you into fights with other employees, trying to get you into a position where they can throw your ass in jail, trying to get you to crash out. And if they see that it's working, they turn it up even more. So you gotta be careful, and you gotta have discernment. You got to have intuition, man. Because if you don't, I'm telling you now, you're gonna fall victim to this shit, because it ain't nothing but manipulation of energy, man. They might have 10 cars ride past you and then swerve. They ain't gonna hit you, but they're gonna make you think they're gonna hit you, because they're trying to manipulate the energy for you to manipulate your own energy, right? To get so mad that you jump in your car and you go run somebody over because you don't know what's real and what's not. So you got to be careful, man. Energy manipulation is worse than regular manipulation. Somebody trying to talk you out your money, somebody trying to, get you to do something that goes against your morals or what you believe in, right? That's what a witch is, a manipulator of energy, man. And the thing is, I'm going to tell you another thing. I don't know how many people know this, but there was a study done by the CIA from the 70s all the way up until the late 80s or whenever, right? They started a program. I don't know the name of it, but I can find it out if I search long enough, I'll find the name of it, right? But the FBI, all the alphabet agencies was involved, whether it was in secret or it was a public thing, man. Like, they went out on a mission to find how many people had true psychic abilities, right? The program ended up screening 3 million Americans. 3 million, right? And that's documented information that is declassified, that the CIA and the FBI and all these dudes, just law enforcement in general, started a program And let me tell you, that ain't even the worst part. The worst part is they discovered that people indeed have psychic abilities, man. And I even remember one particular little test that they conducted on people to prove that psychic abilities were real. And I'm talking about not just conversation like we having, but actual professional monitored, you know, agencies and think tanks. You know, they yeah, okay, so Joey knows something. But so they would say, okay, listen, people, we got a plane crash over in the Amazon, right? And we're having trouble locating the plane, right? So, what we want for all you 10,000 people to do, and now, mind you, this program screened 3 million Americans, right? So, obviously, they knew something. They knew that it was real. They just wanted to know who had it and who didn't. It wasn't about whether it was real or not. It was never about that. It was about who had the abilities and who didn't. So, so back to the plane, right? So they're like, okay, well, so there's this plane that crashed in the Amazon, and we're having trouble locating it, people. So we want for you guys to use your psychic abilities to find where this airplane is, right? And so you would have all these different people that would just like solve it in different ways, right? But there would be like a small group of people that actually got it right. So one person would draw a picture. That first they would want to see a map of the Amazon, right? Then they would study the map of the Amazon, and then they would go sit down after they meditated over it, and they would draw their own map of the Amazon, and then they would highlight a certain part of the Amazon, right? And then they would go back to these agents and they would say, okay, I want you to search this part of the Amazon, and this is where you'll find your plane. So they would go and they would confirm that that is exactly where the plane was at. And these people didn't know anything about the plane, you know. These people had no idea what they were looking for other than it was an airplane, right? And it was a strong possibility that, the CIA, they already knew where the plane was at. They just wanted to wake up the abilities, man. Hold on, I'll be right back. Right, man, I'm back. So yeah, so at any rate, man, the program carried on like that for a few years, man. Many different. I just gave you guys one scenario, right? But it was many scenarios that occurred in that same manner throughout the years, and of course, there, the MK Ultra, and so it basically turned into, many studies, right? I mean, they screened 3 million people, and that's just what we know of, right? But none of these programs. One thing about the CIA and the corporations that operate up under the government, when they start programs and they employ these scientists and these smart people to run these think tanks, they don't never really stop these programs, right? They keep them going. Like, we got programs still running right now today in 2026 that have been running since the 70s, even in some cases the 50s and 60s, man. They don't go anywhere. All they do is they keep them running because they keep a lot of these scholars employed to work and figure stuff out. But and more important than that, you know, they they evolve with time and technology, and they get more information as the years go on. And so, you know, they gotta keep these programs going for as long as they can until they get declassified or people lobby to shut these programs down. Like people say, oh, MK Ultra was a thing that they started in the 70s, right? And that was the actual name. And at this point, everybody's heard of MK Ultra. It ain't no secret no more. And it hadn't been a secret for years, right? But the secret is that the program's still running, still running. That's the secret, is that it's still running. They'll tell you, oh, we shut that program down. No, they didn't shut nothing down, man. You know. Or the other, the secret program where they pump these children with experimental drugs and say, oh, this is for ADHD, or this is for this, or this is for that, when in fact a lot of this experimental, you know, drugs are really just for to do many various different things, like blocking your pineal gland, you know, slowing your brain processing time down, or whatever they do, man. I'm not in the CIA, so I don't really know, you know, what goes on behind their closed doors, but we could just imagine, right? But this is what I feel like, and it ain't even about this is what I want to put out, because I'm not putting out what they do in their programs. What I'm putting out is the fact that now there's the rise of this gang stalking program, and it's very clear that the gang stalking program, it has to be another one of their because it make the amount of people that are involved, the amount of people that are getting stalked. These people must have discovered something years ago, and they decided. And you know what? Here's another thing too. This is on the same subject, but a little bit off note, man. You know, they got and they claim that the military does witchcraft right on the military bases. And they've been claiming that shit for years and years and years. That our fucking the military does, the army does witchcraft. The army is the one that finds the most potent sorcerers, the witches and the warlocks from around the world, whether it's from Africa, Argentina, Spain, Europe, anywhere. If you got a proven track record of having the most potent energy manipulating, illusions, then you can come and you can get a job and they will pay you to do illusions and run this shit and these programs on unsuspecting everyday Americans that they've already deemed, because they got people that watch you from when you was a child and you was a baby. And it's like, when you reach a certain age of maturity, that's when they start attacking you. Now, I don't know if that's the reason they watch us, is so they can attack you and see how strong spiritually you are, or, where's your intuition or your third eye, or your this or your that. And so, they just want to see if they can break people, right? Because one thing about, our government is, it's already been apparent for a long time. They don't care about us. They don't care about your life. They don't care about your death. They just simply, they don't care. All they care about is their operations, man. Everybody's expendable. Everybody can be thrown in the trash when the studies are over with, right? You got all these underground cities everywhere, whether people want to admit to the shit or not. There's people that live down there, and some of them come up to the surface and live amongst society. And if you know what to look for, they're not hard to spot, for the simple fact that they look different, they act different, they look the same in human form, but the that's why I say in one of my videos, look at the eyes, man. The eyes are the windows to the soul, and the eyes tell a whole story, right? And there's professionals that know that there's a lot that goes on through the eyes, the windows of the soul. The demeanors are different. Like, Look what they did. And I hate to bring this up, but like this really ain't got nothing to do with what I'm necessarily talking about. But like, bro, Charlie Kirk got assassinated in broad daylight in front of students, in front of the entire world, right? And it wasn't even the fact that he got assassinated, right? It was the fact that if you were watching that little program that he had going at the time of his assassination, and you listen to people that break everything down for you, bro, all the signs of that whole setup being satanic was right there in front of our faces the whole time. I mean, all the way from the CIA agents being on scene to having the Masonic symbols in place to the actual assassination itself, to his wife after his death throwing up the symbols on live camera with the president, to all her suspicious behavior after the fact. And we ignore it, right? And that's why life is just becoming unbearable, man, because it's like these same people that we look at, that we watch, that we think are just, govern our world are the same people implementing these programs over the people, man. And it's crazy because it's like, it makes you wonder, like, why are so many people going on with their merry lives and they really just don't have a clue, or they just don't care. And it's just, he's gone. Charlie Kirk is 100% cooked. And the reason why he's cooked is because that was a sacrifice that we got to see on live television. It was a sacrifice. He made a lot of money. Did you realize how much money his foundation made after his unaliving? Like, we're talking in the hundreds of millions of dollars, man. He was a sacrificial lamb and he didn't even know it. But another thing about it is, before he even passed, he was already telling people around him, his closest confidants, hey man, these people are going to get me, man. These people are going to unalive me. He was saying it because he felt it. He just didn't know how it was going to happen. But he knew that it was going to happen. Did anybody even know that his wife, supposedly, allegedly, back when she was 17, won a pageant and got onboarded by the Trump family administration, or whatever you want to call it, and they started a little foundation over in Romania, and the Romanian government shut her foundation down because like all kind of kids started coming up missing over in Romania, and they were like, they knew her foundation was behind all of the Romanian children coming up missing. And so, you know, she had to come back to United States, and then look at her now, man. Now she's an elite. She's a stone cold elite. But that's something different, man. But these people I'm talking about are the reason so many people are becoming persecuted and afflicted, because they're harvesting everybody's energy, man. They're taking everybody's power and giving it to Satan. And they want a one world, one mindset. They want everyone in this world to accept. I don't even know what they want us to accept, but I know it's evil and dark. I know that. And you're right, Mr. Mojo. We all know his wife was evil. Like, you can look at her face and see she's one of those ones, you know. And like I said, it's always in the eyes, man. These people are terrible, man. These people eat. I don't want to just like keep going on and getting off subject, but it's just like, man, now we're dealing with this phenomenon called gang stalking, and people becoming afflicted, and they trying to put you basically on the street so they can sacrifice you. But they're not doing it. They're employing these everyday citizens behind the scenes to do it. And everybody's doing it in the name of gaining their own personal power, right? Because like, we're living in a satanic society. Everybody knows that. It's worldwide. This satanic shit has become so popular and so widespread that like there is no stopping it now. There's hundreds of millions of people involved. That's why YouTube's blowing up with all these people complaining about, the gang stalking program and the MK Ultra program where they're trying to control you. They're trying to get you to self-sacrifice. They want people to commit suicide. They just want so many bad things. But you know what? I believe that this little depopulation effort is also tied into this shit, you know. And the fact that we're in a shift anyways, man, and the shift is this. The depopulation effort is simply because they're like trying to, first of all, they're trying to snatch all the land back all around the world, in every country, on every continent, because they're implementing a what the future is going to be, basically. Like, they are moving into the future, but the only problem is they can't move it into the future without getting rid of all these people. Like, lots of people have to be gone for this to happen. And I feel like when COVID-19 happened, right, and they was sitting up here talking about, you know essential workers and frontline workers, that was like kind of like a glimpse into the future, to where that's the only people that are going to be here. Like, I'll give you a quick example of what I mean by that, man. In Nevada, outside of Las Vegas, you got Prim, right? In Jean, Nevada, where they it's there's no it's not a city. It's just an area of casinos, right? It's just an area of casinos. There's no neighborhoods. There used to be a prison out there. I heard they shut it down. I don't know if they opened it back up, but like, there's no houses, there's no neighborhoods. So what you're able to do is, if you can get a job out there in Jean, working for one of the casinos, instead of living and driving way from Las Vegas, they have a little small trailer park of houses that you can live in, and it's 100% only the people that work out at Jean. It's nobody else, right? It's not a community for everybody. It's exclusively for people that worked at the prison, and that just anyone that works out there. You don't have to work at a casino. You can work at a McDonald's. You can work at a gas station. But as long as it's in Jean, they provide houses for the employees for that area, that real estate that's in the basically middle of nowhere. Well, it's not the middle of nowhere. It's right outside of Las Vegas, right? But there's nothing out there. It's just a settlement right off the freeway on your way to California, where you can stop and gamble, waste your money, basically. They got a little theme park out there. They got everything, right? But the point I'm trying to make is, that's what the future is, right? It's just the only people that are going to be in society, according to these people, is just the people that are essential to running the new world order, the automated society, where there's not going to be no need for all these neighborhoods in these cities. It ain't going to be a need for them, right? And so they're just attacking people any way they can. They are trying to get rid of us, basically. What I'm trying to get at, they are trying to get rid of us any way they can. And that's a fact. People, we're about to hit our first hour in 30 seconds. I'd like to thank you for standing by and, supporting the message. I got 14 likes, 3 people in the chat. That's fine. I don't know, music fan. We still haven't hit our goal, huh? Have we hit our 400 mark or what? I need a second to regroup my mind real quick, check my stats and everything. But music fan, where we at, man? So we are now an hour in. It's 12 o'clock. Tuesday is here. So we still haven't hit our, and I expected that, man. Everything is controlled. Everybody's here for a specific reason. And, as we move into this automated world, a lot of people aren't going with us, right? You better know something. You better be extremely smart to be able to go into the future with the rest of these people. So You know, this is my message though, man, and this is what it's going to remain. You know, and I'll tell you this, man, the devil is real, bro. It's so real, it'll make you cry. It'll make you unable to sleep. Yeah, but Mr. Mojo, we ain't gonna have them for very much longer. We're gonna end up having a civil war over that alone. But you know what? Guns are not gonna be able to fight this new war that's coming, right? It's already evident that like what they can zap your ass from space. They can zap your ass with frequencies. They can just poison the water, and then like, bro, they don't care about people with guns unless you're able to live completely off the grid. And then even if you do, what is one family off the grid gonna do if like a whole platoon of soldiers show up to disarm you? You're gonna shoot it out until you die, and that's it. That's all you can do. Nah, Jordan, you're not lying, man. We're gonna have a civil war, but unfortunately, number one, there's so many unarmed people, and number two, the armed people are so they're not gonna win this, man, because they don't understand what they're up against, right? I can see it already in the future. Like it is coming, and it's gonna be ugly, man. It is gonna be terrible, and people just want to go on about their happy-go-lucky lives. They don't want to deal with the ugly truth of what's coming. But when it finally gets here, it's gonna be like I told you so, and people are gonna be crying, and people are gonna be because you know why? People like to live in the moment, man. People are unable to set up the future, and people feel powerless as it is. So a lot of people just feel like I don't care what I'll be dead before the future comes. People didn't already decided that it's over with. Yeah, they do me the same way, bro. They do me the same way. If I had $1 for every person who tried to call me crazy, man, I'd be a millionaire already, man. I'd be a millionaire all damn ready. I wish they did pay $1 for every person that called me crazy. That'd be nice. I'd be able to get paid off of other people's craziness, but you know, like that's what happens, and that's another thing that comes with the programming. And it's they've had all the time in the world to set the stage in every aspect of every thought that we have, every way we try to approach the problem. It's just like they didn't figure out a group of people and dispatched them and said, hey, if this person says this, I want you guys to do that and say that. But I'll tell you this, bro, can't nobody deny all this gang stalking that's been going on all over America. You know why? Because everybody's coming to the camera and to the platforms to complain about it. But it's like it's to the point now where it's just you're desensitized. It's like, what can you do? Yeah, everybody's getting gang stalked. People are getting kidnapped and unalived. But like, what can anybody do about it? Because it's all a secret. Nobody really knows what's going on. People don't even care what's going on. People just want to go to work, make their money, buy their ice cream and their McDonald's, and they want to forget about it, man. That's it, right? And a lot of people are getting paid to keep their mouth shut. You know, you see these random people that got all this brand new shit, and they don't even got the kind of dude. Like I said, gang stalking is propaganda. The only way gang stalking is possible is through the mind and communication and technology. Yeah, it is. If we paid no mind to them, they wouldn't exist anymore. But due to propaganda and a lot of these because I keep saying that a lot of these people that are getting on these platforms talking about gang stalking, they're full of shit. They're just trying to manifest a program to be permanent. They're trying to make people believe that this is something that is gonna be, it's here and it ain't going nowhere and everybody's subjected to it. And so it's like, but you're right though. It's another manipulation of energy to implement and roll out another one of their programs. It's to put people in that absolute state of fear. And you know why? I believe this, man. It is paranoia, but this is why I think that I believe that is happening, is because the media cannot pump fear anymore. People ain't afraid of what the media be talking about no more. When they talking about, oh, COVID or the Zika flu or the West Nile virus or the war or this or that, like people ain't afraid of that dumbass shit no more. So now they said, all right, we're gonna send all of our little secret agents out to gang stalk the shit out of people, and we're gonna start fear mongering like that. Everybody's going to be afraid that they're going to get gang stalked. Everybody's going to be afraid to do this. Everybody's going to be afraid to do that. So I believe that gang stalking is just a form of fear mongering, and so that's how they're choosing their targets. They just choose the targets, of people that are weak, ex-cons, criminals, uh, extra nice people, and then they already gave us the platform to complain on, right? So then, you take it to the internet, and then now you got all these fake reporters. So now you don't know who's telling the truth and who's lying. But one thing we can agree on is the shit is really happening. We can agree on that. But like, it's really just another level of high level gang stalk. I mean, high level fear mongering, right? Because there are people that are really actively being surveilled by these weirdos and shit, you know, and some of them are violent, some of them ain't. But at the same time, it's like they want to instill. This is their last stand to instill fear on the people. Is through the gang stalking programs, through the MK Ultra. Well, the MK Ultra is kind of just mind control, which is what gang stalking is to control you into losing your mind and going crazy and doing some go postal type shit and doing something that you wouldn't normally do, right? And so you know, because a lot of these dudes that do all this gang stalking, like I'm gonna tell you right now, the people that I've seen, they're like senior citizens and women that are like out here doing this gang stalking. So it's like you can't even react because what are you gonna do? Go beat up an old lady or attack a woman? Like, and a lot of these gang stalk, they got their kids with them. They got their damn kids with them. So it's like they're just paying random Americans to go out here and harass people in hopes that we'll go against each other while they sit back and collect billions of dollars, and they continue to roll out all their little programs and their little control devices. And there ain't nothing that you can do, man. And at the same time, it's just like, this is why I push my message though, bro. This is why I'm going to continue to, even if I got to get a damn megaphone and a speaker and go post up on the street corner with my tinfoil hat and my little cardboard signs, that's what I'm going to do, bro. For real. And I don't care. I don't care. Like what do I got to lose, man? They are GTA NPCs because like people really just will turn into a turncoat for the benefits, right? Like, ain't that what they used to do in prison? Isn't that what a confidential informant is? Is a turncoat that only turns on their people for the benefits? Like in the city of Los Angeles from the 90s until now, they claim that they had like 35,000 informants on the fucking FBI and the police's payroll. And they spent millions of dollars paying these informants to go out there and get information on different gang members and drug dealers and anybody doing anything, right? So, what would be the difference for that same type of method on just a regular everyday citizen? To go out there and implement a program of fear mongering just for the benefits. How much money are they spending on these people? Because in Los Angeles alone, it's like, I don't know, 20 million a year, maybe. And that's something that everybody know. You can ask the OGs in Los Angeles about the informant program. There's dudes that didn't release documentation onto these platforms about it. There's police that then got and said, yeah, we have an informant program that the police department and the FBI pay their informants like, I don't know, $2,500 a month just to go out there and infiltrate gangs and bring back information to law enforcement so we can go raid them and take their drugs and put them in jail. And that creates the same exact revenue that we use to keep our programs going. We don't even have to pay through government grants because we just take the money out the streets and give it back to the streets. But that's because the information is more important than the money. The information is more valuable than the money, right? If I go and I rob a operation of, let's say, $3 million in dope, and I give them same drugs back to an informant and say, go sell these drugs, but bring us back information. And that informant goes out there and he's making all this money. He stays free. He never goes to jail. And all he does is turn in his homies. That's like a perpetual cycle of, and so what I'm getting at is they do the same thing in the government, bro. The Democrats did it when Trump was running for office, man. They literally paid everyday citizens that identified as Democrats to go out in the streets and cause trouble. When the George Floyd thing was going on, what did they do? They put fucking bricks in front of every business, right? But I'm crazy though. I'll be crazy. I'll be crazy, but it's like you wonder who dropped the bricks off in pallets all over the United States, right? There's an absolute operation going on. But you got these fuckheads who want to sit here and call everybody crazy. And honestly, those are the guys you got to watch out for. Is a dude that's always trying to call everybody crazy? You better watch out for that guy. Don't worry about the crazy guy. Watch out for the one that's sitting up here calling everybody crazy. Because he's the one that's got all the info. He's the plant. He's the fucking snitch. He's the informant, and he's the one that's gonna get you fucked up in the end. Not the crazy guy, the one that's calling everybody crazy. That's the guy who gonna get you fucked up because he works for them people. That's why they're always around these kind of conversations. You ever notice anytime you have these kind of conversations, there's these guys that just come out of nowhere talk about, hey guys, don't listen to him. He's crazy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. You got to watch out for them people, man. You got to watch out. They work for the cabal. They work for the enemy. They work for the same people that are no, I ain't crazy going, but that's a good one though. I appreciate that, Mr. Vashon. You must be out there in the Washington area, man. But like I said, they got unclassified documents about the informants in Los Angeles, man, where the police and the gang members all said, yeah, yeah, they got them. They pay these motherfuckers millions of dollars a year to just simply live a normal life, commit crime, do whatever you got to do, and we'll pay you just to be a fucking snitch. You know? Yeah, we'll pay you just to be a fucking snitch. And then they take that same thinking and that same concept and they just flip it and reverse it and take common citizens that are not in the streets, that do not commit crimes, that don't deal drugs, who don't deal with gangs. They don't work for the police. It's just the government liked the idea so much that they implemented the same program into communities. We want you guys to go out here, wreak havoc in people's lives, call them crazy, make them go mental, make them harm themselves and do weirdo shit, and we'll pay you millions of dollars a year. I mean, they do it in Los Angeles. They do it in every major city. Anywhere there's big drug problems, anywhere there's big gang problems. That's why gangs are so like relevant in society. Because believe it or not, the government found a way to make a lot of money off of these gangs. They made a lot of money, so it's important to keep recruiting. Recruit. Make sure these little young dudes become gang members because we make a lot of money off this shit. And then we're gonna fuck them off, put them in jail, unalive them, do whatever we got to do. But it's not just the gangs anymore. It's the common citizens. You don't believe me? Then please, can somebody please tell me, why are so many people getting online complaining about gang stalking and people following them and people trying to sabotage them, messing with their lives, their cars, their love life, their jobs, and why is that? If I'm so crazy, just please somebody tell me, solve the mystery, and I'll be quiet. You know, solve the mystery and I'll be quiet, man. And another thing, if you like this content, man, please don't hesitate to like and subscribe, man, because like this needs to be talked about amongst my people, not these NPCs, not these haters, not these informants and these snitches. We know that the snitches are going to come into the live regardless. That's their job. They got to monitor and make sure, you know, that everything is being contained, and everybody's staying distracted, and everything looks fake and everybody looks crazy. But like, come on, man. You know. But like I said, I just want to know, man, if somebody can explain why all these people just popped up at the same time about all these gangs. Like, think about it. 10 years ago, the word gang stalking didn't even exist. Nobody ever heard of that before. Like, a gang stalker, what the fuck is that? My brother is the first person that ever said that in front of me. Like, when he told me of gang stalking, I had no idea what it was. I just, like, everything I talk about, let me tell you some real shit, man. Everything I talk about started with my brother and my cousin first. I knew nothing about it until they started calling me on the phone and complaining about getting gang stalked and losing jobs and people trying to harass them. And like, I knew nothing about it. Then next thing I know, I start getting calls from my brother's girlfriend saying the same thing. Oh, your brother's going crazy. Oh, your brother thinks people are gang stalking him. And I'm like, hold on, Millie, what do you mean? What is gang stalking? What the fuck is that? I knew nothing about it 10 years ago, right? And then as soon as they brought this shit to my attention, it started happening to me. And now I can't get it out my mind. But my brother, my cousin, and his girl brought this shit to me 10 years ago. Just, I was out in Michigan living my life. I'm out there in Lake Erie, waist deep in the lake, trying to catch a catfish. And I'm getting phone calls, right? About people in out of state talking about my bro's going crazy and people are gang stalking him. My cousin starts talking about, hey, cuzzo, I need to buy a body cam because these people out here gang stalking me, man. But yeah, let me tell you the cap to that, right? At that time, I was buying a lot of jewelry, right? I had gold chains, I had rings and shit. Cuzzo was doing everything I was doing. Like, this nigga was trying to live vicariously through me. He was buying all the same stuff. If I told him I had something, he would go right out and buy it, right? Then I had another cousin that started showing up in Michigan that claims he was out here buying homes and doing this and doing that. But, it all started with my brother, his girl, and my cousin and his girl. They was like talking about all this gang stalking shit, right? At the time, I wasn't going through any of this type of shit. I was just living my life. I was working my jobs, making my money. I was doing good, right? Everything was copacetic. And then all this shit started happening, and it's been going strong ever since. So I like, man, you bitch ass niggas got something to do with this. You know what I'm saying? And I just, it is what it is at this point. It's like, okay, so since this is my new reality, I'm gonna create a channel. We're gonna talk about this. I'm gonna find like-minded people. I don't care about how many jobs I gotta lose. I don't care about how many people try to stalk me anymore. Like, I'm a strong individual anyway, as it is. So it's like, that shit's gonna happen whether I like it or not. But like Buddy said, hey man, it only exists if you allow your mind to acknowledge it, right? But at any rate, whether your mind acknowledges it or not, there's a lot of people who hasn't reached that point, who knows, hey man, don't let your mind acknowledge this bullshit, and it will kind of like die down into the background. But what about all the new recipients? They ain't reached that point. So it's like, my platform is going to be the platform, one of them out of all the tens of thousands that are out there now, is just Like, it ain't even about exposure. It's about how to protect yourself and about how to mitigate the damage and live through it and just like understand why this shit even became what it is today. You know, why so many people are complaining about the same type of affliction, the same type of persecution. This is the point of my channel, man. And if you're going to subscribe to it, then this is what you need to know in advance. So you know that if this is what you want to hear and you need insight about this shit, then you can subscribe and you could tap in when I go live and you could watch the videos and the shorts and the this and the that, you know, and we'll go from there, man. And yes, you know, social rocks, I pray. I keep a Bible near me. I ask God for insight. I ask God for forgiveness. I ask God to have mercy on my soul, man. You feel me? I don't want to leave this place with a heavy heart because I believe that's one of those things that keep you trapped in the prison loop anyway, is allowing yourself to be so bitter and aggressive from the ways of mankind that you leave this place. You leave this place, this prison, with a heavy heart. And you know, it says in the Bible, whether it's true or not, that like, you know, your heart is weighed. What do they say? Your heart is weighed on a scale to see if it's as light as a feather, and if it's heavy, then you got to go to hell. Something to that degree. But you know, at any rate, man, I pray and I ask for improvement. I ask for the strength to carry on. I don't ask for tangible things because if I got the strength to carry on, I'll get all the tangible shit that I want, man. And I've already, bro, I've done it all, man. I've done a lot of bad in my life. And I'm at a point now where I just want to do good. And I think that's another reason why I probably got subjected to this, because my vibration heightened itself on its own. And, you know, that pisses certain principalities of power off because they want to keep us all in a low vibration. And I've said that in one of my videos. They don't want none of us to know ourselves. They want you to believe that you them. You know, they want to take over your vessel so you can be what they want you to be. And because I ain't on that type of shit, they want to like just really just fuck my life up, right? Because they can't believe. They're like, no, you're a piece of trash, buddy. So you're going to live according to being a piece of trash. And if you ever try to lift your vibration up, we going to gang stalk the fuck out of you to keep your vibration low. And if that don't work, we'll just unalive your ass or put you under a bridge somewhere, you know. And then we gonna do it all in secret because we got people posted up everywhere in this fucking city. Ain't nobody gonna believe you. Nobody's gonna listen to you. Nobody's gonna help you. You just in this shit on your own. Watch how bad we gonna make this shit for you. You and everybody else that we choose is like you. We gonna make life hell until you get up out of here, or you just sleep under a bridge somewhere, talking to the air, talking to yourself. So your old friends that used to know you can say, damn, what happened to Tyrone, man? I don't know. He done went crazy, man. Look at him over there, man. Man, that's messed up, man. Glad it ain't me, though. Anyways, man, what we doing tonight, man? I don't know. Let's go gang stalk somebody. Oh, piece of shit motherfuckers, man. Night. I didn't even know you was here. Evie. Evie, honey. Oh, yeah, I did. Honey bun. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I'll catch you later on the next live. Still got a couple more days until New Year's, so you know it ain't over till it's over. But yeah, it is 12:30, and I actually got one more video that I need to record. Not alive, but I got another video I need to record. So I'll be doing that. And if you subscribe to the channel, if you're not already, you can subscribe. But you could be looking forward to that, man. It's just an add-on, you know. It ain't gonna be necessarily what I'm talking about tonight, but it will be an add-on to you know, from me compiling information and you know, from what I see through my eyes and what I hear other guys talking about. And there's some good content out there, by the way, man. This shit is not all bad, man. Bad is a perspective, right? Good is also a perspective. So remember that. Keep that in mind, man. You know, being bitter is a perspective. You know, being judgmental is a perspective, man. Everything we do is a perspective. I don't care what's going on, man. There's people that like got their face blown off in battle. People that lost their legs and their arms, and they're still as happy as you can possibly be. They don't even talk about it. They don't complain about the trauma. They just live life like they still got their arms and legs, even though they're getting around on nubs. So, you know, it's just a perspective, man. It's the way you view life, and you know, it's how resilient you are and how tough you are. You know, because there's people out there who've been through way worse than I've ever been through, man. And I never got shot, but I've been stabbed. I got stabbed 7 times by my own family member, you know, in my back of all places, right? My lower back got poked up with an ice pick. So, you know, I had to go through that, but you know, it messed up muscles in my back. So I've always had back problems after I got stabbed. And then other injuries that I incurred throughout my life, bulging discs, sports related injuries. But I think it all happened from getting stabbed and my muscles getting, you know, punctured and then healing with big scar tissue on them, you know. But like, there's people that's been through way worse than me, man. And they keep their mouth shut. And you know what? I salute you guys, right? I really do. But me, I got a story to tell, man, and I'm gonna tell my story, man. And I don't care who don't like it, man. And the reason I don't care is I understand that there's people going through a lot of shit, and they just want a way to be able to understand that like they're not alone and that other people care. And I do, man. I'm a very caring person, man. Like I ain't never been one of those people that just was selfish and said, I don't give a fuck what you going through. I only care about what I'm going through. No, man, I've been broke as hell. I've been poor and homeless, still giving another fellow homeless dude some money because I know I had some money and he didn't. And I was only homeless due to fucking circumstances, not because I was a fucking drug addict or just down on my luck. Nah, man, a lot of shit I've been through was engineered and forced, you know. But I always had a way to hustle. You wouldn't even have known I was homeless back in the day, man. I'll be the only homeless motherfucker you ever seen with brand new everything on, jewelry and all, you know. I just happen to not have a place to stay because I got some real evil people, you know, in my life. And no, James, I only got Cash App, man. It's in the description. If you can't Cash App it, don't worry about it, you know. But I've been down and out lots of times in my life, man. And you know, I got through it every single time. And my favorite slogan is the fact that I failed 10 times, but I got up 11, you know. And so that's where I'm at right now, man. Because I started out life on my back. When I came out my mother's womb, I was laid down, right? So if I failed 10 times in my life, I got up 11, man. And that's my all-time high score. And that's how it's gonna be, man. And I encourage everybody out there in cyberspace to do exactly the same, bro. You know, and understand that there's a lot of devils out there all around us, bro. And they like I said, they like to turn that screw. If they know you feeling down and out and you depressed and you don't know what to do, look at the comments, man. There's people that like to twist that screw and make your situation worse and make you feel like you just can't you can't deal with life. These are those these are these snitches and informants I just got through talking about, man. They're paid informants, bro. But their job is to go out and be a chaos agent. Just cause a bunch of bullshit for no reason because, you know, they get benefits for doing it, you know. They gain some type of favor of they slave masters, man. And then you got guys like me or that are just enslaved, but like I don't have any particular slave master. As a matter of fact, I'm a field nigga, so I don't get any benefits, like none whatsoever. All I get is very, very harsh treatment and a shitty life. But I'm gonna still make the best of it no matter what happens. You know, I'm good at doing that, man. I'm very resilient in that aspect of myself, you know, due to so many, you know, failed attempts to try to live a normal life. I'm pretty much good at bouncing back from anything, man, you know. And so, at any rate, like I said, bro, this is gonna be the message that I push, man. And you know, I welcome everybody, but unfortunately, I know a lot of people, they ain't gonna want to hear it. They're not gonna even be a part of the message or the push for freedom. And when this little automated world gets rolled out on us like it's already being done, then a lot of people ain't even gonna be around anymore, and they're gonna feel betrayed. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, for all the viewers out there, I want you to know this, man. The devil and Satan, he ain't loyal to nobody. And anybody can get it, man. And if you don't know that, man, you just the dumbest person in the world, man. The devil ain't never been loyal, bro. Ever. And he never will be. But you got people out here overly loyal to Satan, which is strange because, like, how could you be loyal to a disloyal spirit? How can you be so loyal to a backstabbing, dirty, filthy spirit? I don't, I, that, but you know what? That's why this is America, because everything is backwards. I'll be right back, though. Entrance. And the words to my great partner Damian Porter, man, stay free, people. But don't mind me, because I'm just a messenger. I'm just a messenger, brother. That's all I'll ever be. I'm really glad that you tuned in, though. I'm just a messenger, man. I bet you guys are saying right now, I'll never bounce back from this. And if that's the case, so be it, man. I won't live under a bridge, though. I'll go make me a fort out in the desert and hunt coyotes and rabbits. I'll find a way, even when it doesn't appear like there is a way. I'm always going to make a way. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the subscribes. For the people that's really rocking with me, man, I highly appreciate it, man. You guys are fantastic and awesome, man. And I couldn't have prayed for a better group of people. The trolls and the real ones. That's all I know how to do, man. I don't play games. I rarely play games. I play games sometimes. I play video games. Somebody need to do it. Everybody can't be afraid. We're already living in a world full of fear as it is. You feel me? You know, a lot of people then sacrifice their lives to just bring the facts and awareness the way that it's supposed to be done. And I ain't the smartest person in the world, man. I have a lot of trouble trying to bring this awareness. I don't even know why I do it, man. I'm like the Blues Brothers. I guess I'm on a mission from God. You know, I feel like I walk around with 10,000 angels protecting me at all times. You know, unfortunately, at some point, my physical vessel has to go. But my spirit is alive, well, and very much intact, man. And that's all that's important to me, man. Don't none of us have a lot of time. None of us. Don't nobody have. I don't care what you do, how much money you got, how much power and influence you got. Ain't nobody gonna last forever. So why not? You know what I'm saying? I made it to my 40s. You know, I got a lot of friends that ain't here right now, gone forever, you know. And some of our greatest people in the world, most powerful in the world, they ain't even here. You see how they did JFK. And that's just a person just right off the top, like very, very, very influential man. Got noodled on camera way back in the 60s, bro. I just people my main goal is just to make people think. I like to invoke thought. Just think about it. You don't have to act on nothing I say, man. You don't even have to care. Just think about it. Am I lying? Am I really sitting up here misleading people? Even to the evil people. Like, am I lying though? Like, if you'll just keep it real with yourself for 1 minute, just understand. I just want you to think, contemplate it. That's it. That's all you got to do. It's the least that you can do for your own enlightenment, your own personal journey to wherever it is you're trying to go. And if you can't do that, man, then why are you even here to begin with? Like, why are you here? You ever thought about that? Why am I here? What is the reason I'm here, man? A lot of people think that they want to know what's the purpose. And I say, hey, man, the purpose is very clear, man. You know, we're the purpose. But we sure are doing a very bad job of living these days, you know. But as you know, as time goes on, things are going to get more unbearable. People are going to get more disgraceful, and that's the lesson here on earth, you know. That's You learn a valuable lesson. The lesson that you learn is that here on earth, you got to go through some very inhospitable lessons and times, and Every generation has their own lessons, but like, ask yourself the main question: am I lying to you? Yeah, man, Job was a very significant character in the Bible, man. Job been through everything, bro. Job is one of the heroes of any person that reads the Bibles that are going through afflictions. Job will make you understand that you ain't alone, basically. You ain't alone, man. But yeah, Job, you know who else is Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, if that's how you say their names, when the evil king threw them in the fire because they refused to worship a man, you feel me? And when he threw them in the fire, nothing happened. And ultimately he ended up meeting his demise, which is what happens still to this day, Not saying if you get thrown in the fire, you're not going to burn. I mean, the Bible is meant for thought and understanding. The world is a very harsh place, very, very harsh people. But just think, man, just think. Where do we go from here? Nobody knows. At least not the people that are still alive. They got their head up their ass, and that's been proven too many times that most people got their head up their ass, and it's just like, what are you gonna do about it? You got your own life to live and your own decisions to make, but unfortunately, more and more people are giving up their vessels, man, for the benefits, and I can't say that enough, bro. I swear I can't, man. But at any rate, bro, just if you tapped in and you like the message that I convey, just think about what I said, man. That's all you got to do. If you think about it, you'll realize that I ain't telling no lie. We know what Path D is on. I'm just not kicking nobody tonight. Not interested. People can say whatever they want because me personally, I still believe in freedom of speech, regardless to what you have to say. Yeah, I've been going live every day. I'll be live tomorrow and the next day. I said I was going to go live every day until New Year's, but once New Year's comes, even if I do go live, I'm probably going to be cutting off the comment section at different times, or I'm just going to be dropping my regular videos, and people can tap in through the videos and my shorts. I got some really good shorts, Amy, if you go check them out. You know, they're pretty good. It ain't all just about doom and gloom, and I get it. A lot of people look at what I'm doing as doom and gloom, but it's not doom and gloom. If you really look at the state of the world, man, it's messed up out here, man. It is really messed up out here for so many folks. And then you got a few that, they make it look good on the outside. So, those are the people that people want to strive to be. But what you don't understand, in my opinion, in today's world, people that make it look good on the outside got something going on the inside, man. But that ain't everybody. That ain't everybody. That's just, you know, a nice chunk of people, though. You know. Yeah, you can still find happiness and peace. I'll never say that you can't. I'm just saying, man, be prepared for the rapture because it's coming. And unfortunately, it ain't even going to be God that does the rapture. It's going to be man facilitating the rapture. It's going to be a synthetic rapture. And that is the truth, bro. The synthetic rapture is coming. And a lot of these little trolls, they got inside information. They know it's coming too. That's why they trolls. That's why they spend their entire life trolling. Because they got what they believe to be inside information, and it's not good information. It is terrible. But it is what it is, man. You can never expect the devil to like side with you and be rational and understanding, because the devil has one goal and one goal only: to cause chaos and doubt and make people not know who they are and make people doubt their abilities and all that kind of stuff. And so it's just like, you know, it's also basically the main reason why I said I'm still gonna do my lives, but I got to turn the comments off because I don't be wanting to read half this shit I read, man. I don't be wanting to read it. That's why I got a moderator. But like, even the moderator can't stop all this filth that leaks through the comments, man. You know, you could try, but like, you know, at the end of the day, it's better to just let these devils talk, man. Just let them talk their shit. Just let them talk. Because if I block them, that makes it seem like I care about what they saying. But if I let them just talk and I don't pay attention and I only acknowledge the people that I choose to acknowledge, they're still going to talk, but it's just like it falls on deaf ears. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Like half these people, they don't care about what I'm saying, but they tap in because they're interested. They want to see, what is he going to say next? Well, that's why I go live every day, sir, so you can see. And yeah, you're right. The rapture ain't coming. It's already here. You are absolutely right. But like I said, it's a synthetic rapture. It's not a godly rapture. It's not coming from above. It's just coming from man, because we live in now more than ever before in a time where you got people walking around taking big shits in the toilet, but really feel like they gods, because they didn't learn how to manipulate the energy so good that they believe that they're above and beyond the regular common citizen. And to me, that's a shame. But I told you, man, when you choose to walk with Satan, you get certain benefits, like worldly benefits. Like you can benefit. Maybe you'll get a new car. Maybe you'll be able to steal someone else's life insurance policy. Maybe you'll get someone to unalive themselves, and for them that's power. They feel good about stuff like that. They feel like they're gods. I got a family member that walks around that really believes that he's a fucking god, and that's why I'm not around him anymore, because like, bro, you ain't no god. You ain't 0.01% of a god. But whoever you've been around that got you feeling like you are a god, it just lets me know I can't even trust or fuck with my own family, because they on some other stuff, man. And I'm over here in my own world, just minding my own business. And you know what? I'm proud of it, man. Proud of it, bro. I don't need to follow behind anybody, man, but the Holy Administrator. And that's who I've always followed behind. And quite honestly, I find better friendship in animals than I'll ever find in a human being. And yeah, it's sad and all of that, but that's a choice that we all make, man. You know, that's a choice that we make, man. Some people are loyal to the wrong shit. Yeah, you're right. We definitely, man. You got to be kind and give people the benefit of the doubt. But at some point, people's masks slip so far down that you see exactly who they are. And those people no longer get the benefit of the doubt. My New Year's resolution is simple, man. Be a better man, live a better life, and have a better year. And if it don't work, then I'll try again in 2027, God willing. And if that don't work in 2027, I'll keep going till I drop. You know, I ask God for improvement. That's been my main prayer now for a while, is please, Father God, give me, you know, an idea on how to improve my life, how to improve my situation, how to improve my thinking and improve my vision so I can do better. Bless me with fresh ideas so I can pass them on and enlighten my people, you know. I'm all about paying it forward, bro. I've been about paying it forward, man. I ain't never been a gatekeeper, but then again, I never been in a position to be a gatekeeper. So, it's easy for me to pay it forward because I ain't never had to be a gatekeeper. Never been put in a position to have to gatekeep. But like I said, I know it's a lot of cats who coming through this chat to say that I'm not going to be able to bounce back from this little suppression that, this group effort of trying to suppress so many people spiritually, right? Because at the end of the day, this is all just a spiritual war, right? Because they're directly targeting your spirit part of yourself, right? Because that's what they do, man. They sit in circles and chant to these evil spirits that walk the land. They try to channel the energy. Yeah, hurling through. Well, we're not necessarily hurling through space. We're actually spinning in a circle. And maybe that's the problem is a bunch of people are just dizzy living on this spinning rock. They're dizzy. And so they don't know what to do. They don't know what to think. All they know is they're going to just jump on anything that got some benefits to offer. Me, I ain't got no benefits, bro. None. I'm just out here in the elements doing the best I can with what I got. And but one thing I learned though about life is if you speak the right stuff, people gonna listen no matter what anybody says in rebuttal. You know, that's why churches are so popular. That's why people cram into churches because they just want to hear something to give them a better perspective, man. No, no, I don't need no benefits. It's been this long without them, so I'm just gonna carry on the same I've been carrying on, man. I'm not really worried about any offers because at this point in the game, any offers that come my way are gonna be dirty offers. They gonna be backhanded offers, and you better not take them, or you gonna be in a world of trouble. You might see a benefit in the beginning, but you gonna pay on the back end. You gonna pay dearly. So I ain't looking for no benefits, man. Why would a man in his 40s still be looking for some benefits, especially if he spent his whole time not getting no damn benefits for nothing? You feel me? Bro, who said that, man? I win Powerball, so I give it to charity. Like, who said that? And quite honestly, that isn't any of your business, man. Whatever I was to do, first of all, I don't play Powerball. I have played Powerball, but since I never won, like, bro, see, but that's what I'm saying, though, man. It's just ridiculous shit, man. Just absolute ridiculousness. You remember that TV show, Ridiculousness? No, that ain't the kind of benefit I'm talking about, bro. Not at all. If you don't know what kind of benefits I'm talking about, then you need to pull your head out of your ass, man. Because that ain't what I'm talking about. A benefit, first of all, if you play the lottery and you win, that ain't a benefit from nobody. That's just you got lucky or you just, yeah, I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that because like I don't know what you're saying exactly. How winning the lottery has anything to do with what I'm talking about. But on top of that, how does playing the lottery and winning the lottery equal a benefit? I guess you can say you benefited from playing the lottery, but like it's not like a charity bought me the ticket, so I gotta pay it back. Like what are you talking about, man? And I'm listening. I already told you what kind of benefits I was talking about, man. People are turning their backs on God for the benefits, man. People are becoming informants for the benefits, man. And if I'm rambling, why are you here listening to some rambling guy? Like, why are you here listening to rambling? If that's what I'm doing, why are you here? I don't get it. You must like listening to people ramble because you sure are commenting. You sure are getting out your little jabs. That's what I want, man. I want people save yourselves. Like they said on the Titanic when it was sinking. A bunch of people ran around the ship saying, "Save yourselves. Save yourselves," because he was trying to tell them that the ship is sinking. And if you don't save yourself now, you're going to be doomed. And so people started saving themselves. We're on a sinking ship, like we are. I don't know if you guys can see it yet, but like America is always going to be what America is, but we've already been sold out by our leaders to the point where the greed has reached an all-time high to where like the only thing they got left now to offer is you. That's all they got left. They can't offer these people money no more. They can't offer these people fake dreams and false dreams. But you know what they can offer is the people. And that's what they've been doing. They've been offering up the people. Yeah, they've been offering up the people. No, I ain't sad, bro. I'm good, man. I'm just it's late. It's 1 o'clock. I'm just sitting here chilling, man. I'm just sitting here chilling, bro.